Hey y'all, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a basic poof method wreath using Dollar Tree mesh. Now, depending on how big you make your poofs, you may need to use more or less mesh than I did. But for my way and this particular style, I use 6 rolls. So stay tuned and I'll show you how to make it. Alrighty, so first off, I'm going to apologize for my hands in this video because all day long I have been making these cute little flip-flop bath bombs and soap. They're in Ocean Breeze scent and oh, they smell so good. It's such a good scent. It's one of my favorites. And usually I'll wear gloves when I'm making bath bombs, but I ran out and instead of going to the store, I was lazy and just started using my bare hands to mix all this stuff together. So, it dries my hands out when I do a whole bunch of them. But if you want to take a look at those, they're in my Etsy shop. I'll put a link in the description box down below. So to start on this, what you need is the 14-inch wreath frame from Dollar Tree. You're going to need some zip ties, a pair of scissors, and of course you're going to need some of the 6-inch mesh from Dollar Tree. I've got so much of this rainbow mesh left over from Easter. I've got, oh my god, I've probably got about 30 rolls of this stuff, so that's what I'm going to use for this. You can use any color you like. And someone asked me if it was possible to do like a poof style wreath with the 6-inch Dollar Tree mesh, and it is. Most of the time with this style of wreath, you know, you use the wider mesh that you get from Michael's or Walmart or whatever, but you can do it with this type. It just takes a little bit of manipulation and moving it around, but you can do it. So first off, what we're going to do is, whoa, we're going to hang on to our mesh. That's what we're going to do. But we're going to take a zip tie and just pick a place to start. It doesn't matter. I say let's start right here. And we're going to go ahead and loop our zip tie. Don't tighten it all the way down though. Just about like that. Now you want to start with your mesh coming up from the back side of your form, okay? So, oh, this stuff just clings to itself. So take your mesh like this and just fold it in half. And then just kind of fold it in half again. Scrunch it up. And now you're going to take this and you're going to feed it through that loop that you just made with your zip tie. Kind of go like on the underside of it. Not on top like this. Go under it. Okay? And then pull that through just a little bit. And then tighten up your zip tie, which is much easier with 2 hands. There we go. Tight. Okay. Now pull that to the back. You're going to trim that off later. Don't worry about this little tail right here. It doesn't make much of a difference right now. Okay, so to start with this, you're just going to take your mesh, and if you've seen my burlap wreath, it's pretty much in the same style, kind of. If you want to see that one, I'll link to it up there. It's kind of the same style, except you're not doing the twist, if you know what I'm talking about. So take your mesh, and we're going to start with this little section here, and just push it up through. Just like that. Now this is going to be the size of your poof. See how tall that is there? That's going to be the size of your poof. So if you want to, you can like use your hand to measure it. If you can put your hand in there and then just pull this so that your poof here is the same height as your hand. Okay? Now we're going to take our hand out. Now don't put any right here, okay, in this second space. Go up top to this third space. And you want to be really careful when pulling your mesh through, because if you're not careful, you're going to pull this back down through it, and that's not what you want to do. This is your second poof. Put your hand in there just for measure. Yes, a good size. Okay, now just squish that over this way. Just squish it on over to the side. Unroll more mesh. Now this time, we're going to go in this center space. So just take your mesh, push it up through the center space. That's going to be your next little poof. Let's just measure it. Okay, that looks good. And you don't have to be precise with this. I mean, it does not have to be perfect, because once you start squishing everything together, it's going to come together all right. You don't have to worry about it being exact. You just want it to be like, you know, somewhere in the ballpark of each of your little poofs here being kind of like the same height. Okay, so now just take that and squish it over. Take more mesh. Now we're going to start again, going in this bottom section. Push it up through there. skip the center one, go up to the top one, and push it through. Just like that. Now don't worry about this pulling back through, you know, and messing it all up, because once you start really squishing them tight, it's going to pretty much hold itself in, okay? Now just take those poofs and move them on over. Roll some more out, and then go in that center space. Just like that. So now the more mesh that you get on there, you know, the more, how can I say, it's like the more dense your color is going to become. I know it looks kind of weak right now, but you know, just keep working with it, and the more dense your mesh is going to become. I did this type of style wreath before, and it used 6 rolls, just like, you know, the curly kind that I do with the little clusters. So, you know, I think it's safe to say to use 6 rolls. Like I said, it all depends on how big you make your poofs. I use my hand as a guide, so, you know, I usually use about 6 rolls, but, you know, and that's all that there is to this. Now that you made the center one, we're going to go back and start in this first one. Just push it on through, pull it through, skip that center one, go up through the top one here, push your mesh through, push it through. Oh, come on. There we go. And squish it over. Now we're going in the center one. Feed it up through the center. And push it over. Back to the bottom. This is probably boring, y'all, but want to hurry up and try to show you what to do, you know, once you get to the end of your roll of mesh. Now we're going back in the center. Push it over. Go through the bottom. Pull it through. Go through the top. Pull it through. Squish it over. And go through the center. And I think we're about at the end of our roll of mesh here. Yeah, we are. We're about at the end. So, you know what? And that looks pretty full right there. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to cut this. Okay? And I might try to feed it through one more time. Okay, let's see. I just did the middle. So we're going to go back to the bottom. Pull it through. Okay, now I've got this tail left. And now you're going to fasten this tail to the frame just like you did at the beginning. Okay, so you're going to take your zip tie, and on this little bar right here, just run your zip tie through. Tighten it down till you have like a little loop. Make sure your tail is in the back. And then just take this little piece of mesh that you have left over. Just kind of bundle it up a little bit because it kind of folds in on itself once you get to the end of the spool here. And then just feed that through your zip tie right there. And then just tighten it down. And that secures your first big bundle of poofiness. There we go. See, there's your first section of poofs. Now you just keep on doing that all the way around until you're done. Okay? You just attach your next roll just like you did at the beginning. Just take your next roll and attach it with the zip tie. I use 2 separate zip ties. Just attach it again. Work your poofs through. You can change colors if you want. Like one section can be like red, white, blue, you know, just like that. And that is how you do the poof method. So I'm going to work on this for a little bit, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like once it's full. Okay. My wreath is full. I know it's really hard to see at this angle, and I'm sorry. I've got limited space to work with. But yeah, this is what the wreath looks like when it's all done. So now you can just attach a sign in the middle, you know, decorate it however you want. When I do wreaths like this, the way I attach my ribbon is I decide how long I want my ribbon to stick out. So let's say that I'm just going to take the end of this ribbon and kind of put it on the frame. Let's say I want it to stick out, I don't know, about that far. You want to double that, because when you use your pipe cleaner to make your little ribbon clusters to go on here, You see what I'm saying? Like this length here, from the frame up to this point, that's going to be how long it's going to be sticking out. So you just want to fold your ribbon over and then cut right there. And you can use however many different colors of ribbon you want. You can use however many colors that you want in your cluster. This wreath right here, I'm not going to put any ribbons on it just yet. I might just set it to the side because I don't exactly know how I want to decorate this wreath. So here is one of my ribbons. And then let's just say that you want to add in some purple. Okay, then cut the purple to whatever length you want it. Then trim away the ends. Just like this. And then you would just lay your ribbons on top of each other. Layer them however you want them to look, okay? And then take your pipe cleaner and bend it in half. And then you would take your ribbon, and at the halfway point, that's where you would put your pipe cleaner. Just like that. And just twist it around your ribbon like that. That just makes like a little ribbon cluster. And when I make ribbon clusters like this, I usually like to use the wired ribbon, and then I'll use a piece of this, and then a piece of the thinner ribbon. You know, just layer it. You know, you can do 2, 3, 4 layers, however many you want. Now that you have your little cluster made, you just take the pipe cleaner, run it down between the mesh, and attach the ribbon to the wire frame. And then twist the pipe cleaners in the back. And that is how you would add little clusters of ribbon here and there. So that is how you make the basic Poof style wreath using Dollar Tree mesh. I hope this was informative. I hope you liked it. If you would, please give me a thumbs up, click subscribe, check me out on other forms of social media. I'll put the links to all of those in the description box down below, and I hope to see y'all next time. Bye-bye.